What's up, Earthmans? Welcome to my lab. I've been waiting for this to happen for a long time, and finally it happened. Thanks Steve, thanks team, thanks to every Apple employee. Thanks for what? Thanks for teaching me how to solder. Here is a world-famous problem with Apple laptops 2018-2017 model year. It's called FlexGate. The screen backlight cable breaks off. My MacBook A1708 has turned into garbage. After watching a couple of videos, I decided to repair it myself using a $1 soldering iron and a piece of tin. I had never soldered before. Never. That's what's happened. An absolute fiasco. The flex cable melted. Copper tracks of the cable moved away from the base. And my soldering iron melted, literally. The reason is the temperature is too high. I think about 400 Celsius degrees, as well as unsuitable solder, unsuitable flux, and lack of a microscope. Look at the size of the conductors in the flex cable. They are as thick as a human hair. So, I need a microscope, 100%. I didn't buy an extra soldering microscope. I put together this setup. I connected my Panasonic G85 camera to the monitor, installing it on the Magic Arm from Dallas Mini car. 35mm lens and micro ring was used on the camera. It turned out very convenient. The distance from the lens edge to the table is about 10 cm. The optical zoom can be compensated by digital zoom on camera. Then I had to buy the simplest soldering station for $30. Low temperature solder with a melting point of about 180 Celsius degrees. Flux gel for soldering BGA components with an activation temperature like that of solder. I started training. From the first unsuccessful attempt, a piece of the repair flex cable remained. I trained on it to clean the flex cable from the compound. I found out that most comfortable to clean using the edge of stationary blade. The most important thing isn't to use the cutting side. The cable can be easily damaged. I put a piece of glass under the cable, so I felt the necessary effort better. Clean copper conductors to a shine, approximately 1 mm. Tin the contact zones. Use a suitable copper wire. I took a broken probe from a multimeter. It definitely needs to be tinned with solder, then cut it into 1.5 mm. I accidentally found a very convenient way to cut these short and thin wires. In a cool drop of hot melt glue, cut with a sharp knife. Very comfortably. The wires do not scatter, neatly stand upright like grass on the lawn. Easy to pick up with tweezers. Soldering. Here I try a soldering dryer and solder the conductors one by one. The method is working, but I decided to do it classically with the iron tip. By the way, the iron tip often stops holding the solder. It must be periodically cleaned of oxide film and contaminants. To do this, I use a damp cellulose sponge, iron sponge, as well as a special paste for tinning iron tips based on ammonium phosphate. A new set of repair cables has arrived. Final attempt. I increased the total length of the flex cable by 3.5 mm. This will give me 1-2 more attempts to solder if something goes wrong. I solder without overlap, so it's very important to make the cut as perpendicular as possible. After soldering, I carefully wash the flux residues with isopropyl alcohol, then with a degreaser on both sides. Everything is ready for applying the solder mask. I chose black. The solder mask will give additional rigidity to the repair side and will be beautiful. But this beauty will be visible only on the removed display. Apply a very thin layer above the thickness of a paper banknote. Illuminate with ultraviolet light. The longer exposition is better. 3-5 times. Assemble machine. Checking. It works, I'm so glad. I'm extremely happy you watched to the end. Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. Sort all the screws during disassembly. And use paper tape in any incomprehensible situation.